As part of her PhD studies, Mary Morolong Nonkwelo focused on storytelling as a form of empowerment and transformation. She has since established the Empowerment Network, which is 10 in short. 10 is a community upliftment movement with a mandate to establish platforms to foster inspirational and empowering engagements for growth and prosperity, a notion closely aligned to social capital. 10 has three distinct areas of focus. The first one, it focuses on the young people below Matric level and those that are at university level and, of course, adult stream. To unpack this for us, she is joining us in our studios here in Johannesburg. Osmeri, good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for coming through. Now, first things first, you have a full-time job at Eskom and you've been with the company for the past 24 years. How did this idea of storytelling come about?
My journey within the organization started off in the communication arena as a communication practitioner, and basically knowing communication, it requires one to basically have writing skills, to basically have the PR skills, and basically to then engage people. And so I started off with every event that I hosted. Under the banner of communication, I would then write my own bulletins. And so writing has been part of my journey. And moving from there, I then entered into the HR space, where I then rendered a service to the HR fraternity. And that's how I then ended up being in the training and development space. As you said, yes, rightly so. I'm the head of school, Project Management Training Center of Excellence. A hardworking woman, dedicated, very committed indeed.
I see that.
Starting off with the storytelling part, in fact, when I did my master's program, my dissertation was on advancement of women into the leadership echelon of the organization. My challenge was basically when I looked at the leadership ladder, I realized that there was only few women at that level. And I then approached my managing director then, and who sponsored my master's program, to embark on that. And I established the Lekgotla Networking Forum for Women at that time. So my PhD, the storytelling part, is more about every time you engage women, every time you engage youth, every time you engage men, you realize that they need some sort of development, they need some sort of empowerment, and that somehow it transforms an individual. And once an individual is transformed, it means that the whole nation is basically transformed and empowered.
All right, so how does it work now? Because I see you've got books in front of you that were written and compiled by yourself, of course, from volume 1 to volume 5.
Yes.
What's inside those books?
All right, what I did, it didn't start basically outside of the organization. Within the organization, as I said, I've been building my own bulletins and in support of that. But also I looked after women's programs. And my chief learning officer, the former one, asked me to basically put together a booklet for the ladies. I think there were about 20, and that was a successful journey. And then I realized that my storytelling, coupled with my writing skills, I could basically get the people outside of the organization to be the authors and to tell their stories, because all we need is the content. So I started with mobilizing the 23 ladies with the volume 1 and just randomly selected women. Some of them are entrepreneurs, some of them are basically just corporate seniors or executives.
So you're basically looking for inspirational stories.
I look for inspirational stories. You know that storytelling is more therapeutic. When you write, you feel, yes, I'm basically healed, I'm cured, and I'm empowered. So I need only 1,500 words from individuals keen to write stories, but here is the obstacle. In most cases, people basically don't fall for this because they would say, but Mary, I'm not an author. I'm not a professional writer. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the fact that you've crossed the river and others are struggling to cross that river. That's what we need as to how did you make it, because you are a victor. So we're looking for victorious ending stories. The first book was written by 23 women with 25 stories. and that was launched on the 29th of August last year, and it hit the market on the 13th of December 2015. The second book was written by men and women. And it's so exciting when you see men are really coming out and saying, I really want to write. The third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one were launched last week Friday at Scoops in Monte Cassino. So I've actually shelved all 5 books.
Yeah.
My journey, this is my 50th year of life. And I would like to have 20 books by the end of March.
Next year.
This year. Next year, next year, sorry, 2017. Yeah. That would be my dream. I'm busy with my bibliography now. My bibliography, it's around 400 pages.
Yeah, so there's so much to tell.
There's just so much to tell.
Yeah.
It's not only that, just to share with you briefly, I'm really passionate in terms of empowering the communities out there.
Yeah, because I also wanted to come to that as to, I do know that you're involved in community work.
Yes, I am.
As well. Yeah.
I am.
So what do you do?
Oh, yes. I hardly rest. And I've got very supportive kids who basically also wanting to prosper and grow and support mommy. Just to mention a few, just the two that are very close to my heart. On the 15th of October this year, I hosted the Matric dance for the first time in SABC and Limpopo. And basically, I dressed up those matriculants. I got donations from ordinary people. Yeah. I requested my peers in the organization to please support me with this endeavor. And even outside, the Empowerment Network crew came on board. It's amazing how people can actually go all out to help you, especially when they see that there are benefits out of this project.
All right.
And a week before the 15th, I delivered the first batch. The second batch was delivered on the day when I went to set up the marquees and everything else.
But how do you do it, Osmeri? I mean, you're also doing your PhD now, and I'm still struggling with my master's. Here you are with your PhD at your age.
Can I just tell you something? And I was just telling the lady from your SABC who was going to who fetched me from the reception, the good stories I was told about her, that she's a hard worker. I would like to cautiontize people that hard working, commitment and dedication in every task that you get given and mastering that, you're not only doing justice to the organization that has employed you, but you're building yourself as well.
True.
I also don't know how I managed to do all these things.
But you managed.
I do
Importantly,
manage.
so you managed. But for those that are interested in perhaps sharing their stories, how do they go about getting in contact with you?
We are on Facebook, and it's the Empowerment Network. And they could also get in touch with me. My number is 082-972-1104. 082-972-1104. Can I just mention one important aspect?
Quick.
On volume 5,
I'm
introducing the kids now to start writing. I've got a young girl at the age of 9. My daughter is 10 years old. It's about 18 of them who have now written stories.
So their stories are also captured on volume 5. I wish we had more time on this conversation, but we've got the crisp of it. Thank you so much for this inspirational chat.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much. There you have it. That's Mary Morolong Nonkwelo. She was talking to us about all the books or the story books that she has written from volume 1 to volume 5. So if you want to get in touch with them, go to Facebook, the Empowerment Network, or 10 in short. Well, Morning Live takes a break. We continue after.